Hello, everyone. My name is Jose Fulgencio, and this presentation was given at the Association of Hispanic Serving Institution Educators 2014 conference at the University of LaVerne. This presentation was titled 21st Century Technology for the 21st Century Hispanic Student. One of the reasons why I really wanted to do this sort of talk was because I'm just fascinated at the way that technology today has given the capability to actually just, whether it's capturing a lecture, recording a lecture, and posting it online within minutes or so, or just after a few edits, and having the whole world see it, right? I mean, look, for example, at TED Talks. I mean, if you can't attend a TED Talk, say in Australia or Japan or India or whatever it may be, and you really want to know about certain topics that are being talked about in those certain countries, right? You can just go online and find them and just, view it like if you were actually there. And I mean, that technology today, whether it's the social media or things like Snagit or whatever it may be, has given people the capability to expand knowledge and to expand, especially in the educational field, in higher education, right? I mean, technology has given, especially in higher education, has given the capability of people earning their degrees totally online. Whether it's bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degrees, just all online now. Recently in the news, we hear that Starbucks teamed up with Arizona State University to give the Starbucks employees the opportunity to earn an online degree from Arizona State, which is wonderful. Udacity just came out with a nano degrees, right? It's like nano degrees, these short degrees that, given to people specifically who want to obtain a skill for their job. So technology has changed and dramatically for better improvement in education, of course, in other fields, but specifically in higher education. And we need to make sure that we utilize such technology for the 21st century Hispanic student, because these 21st century Hispanic students, right, are just like any typical student coming into college now. They're very social media tech savvy, the smartphones. Maybe some people have the iPads, the tablets, computers, laptops. They know what's going on, and they are just as equal with their peers when it comes to technology. So we must use that technology that they use and bring it to the students. So basically, in this presentation, I talk about how I utilize such technology with the Oye Help Me Series, which I created, which is a college resource for students with a specific message geared towards young Latinos to get in college and graduate, right? So I'm going to talk about how I use some of those tools for the 21st century Hispanic student, how you also can use the same tools to bring it in your classroom or your institution, right? To bring your message out there to not only your university or your community, but to the whole world, right? A little bit about myself. I graduated from Northeastern Illinois University back in 2010. That's where I got my undergrad. Northeastern Illinois University, which is in the north side of Chicago, is a Hispanic serving institution. Got my graduate degrees, my master degrees from Oklahoma State University, one in political science and another in entrepreneurship. And of course, I created the Oye Help Me series there at Oklahoma State, which I mentioned is a college resource gears towards, it's open to any student, but it's geared towards young Latinos. And of course, I have a huge passion for educational technology. It's the future, it's here, it's now. Let's utilize it to make sure not only to help college students graduate, but specifically young Latinos to graduate from college and move beyond that into the professional workforce. I do show a video in the presentation, but of course I don't want to get in trouble because this would be put out on YouTube and such, no copyright infringement or anything. But there's this video, Do You Know 4.0, and if you email me, I will certainly send you out that video, the specific video, because if you put Do You Know 4.0, there's like a bunch of them that show, and some of them are not the real one that I show in the presentation. So if you email me, I will certainly show you this short video, which basically highlights how technology such as social media has drastically changed society today. YouTube and Facebook and all the good stuff has changed society, right? And young Latinos are starting young with technology, right? It's just not just one society, but the Latinos are starting young, right? If you go to a family reunion, or you go to the community, you see these kids having the smartphones and they're playing with the tablets. My cousin, for example, her kid already has an iPad and she's playing. She's like, I think 3 or 4 years old. I think 4 or 5. I don't know, between 3 and 5 years old, and she's already with the tablet playing games that I'm having a little trouble playing them, and she's like nothing to her, right? I mean, they're starting young now. They're so they see this stuff. They know the tablets. They know how to get online. They know how to hook up, systems and television systems and everything else, right? So they're starting young with this technology, right? Millennials, right? Some good things and some bad things, right? Some bad things about millennials, right? They're known as the latest narcissistic me generation, but they are net addicted, so they're addicted to the internet. They download and upload. They need for speed. They learn visually. They lack long attention span when it comes to lectures. They want entertainment and play in their work, education, and social life. So if it's boring, they'll let you know, right? You can't. No more can you go. For example, in the previous presentation I gave, uh, which you can also see, was I talk about how you can't use the death by PowerPoint anymore. You have to use technology in the classroom today to make sure the students are on board. Also, especially with young Latinos, they like the YouTube. They're constantly on YouTube, so you have to utilize YouTube, which is what which I actually have, which is what I present my the Oye Help Me series is put up on YouTube and for students to see. And you can also use YouTube to put out your material, your workshops out there to the world and also to your community. Of course, you can see this picture speaks volumes. I mean, back in 2005, I mean, if you see, look at the picture up in 2005, if you see right by the corner where it says Luca Bruno AP, you see that person with the flip flop. Remember those things? Those were today. If you see someone that's ancient, that's like dinosaur civilization now. Um, that was technology back then. And look at 2013. I mean, everyone has a tablet, the smartphones. I mean, it's beyond my mind how much technology has changed just within about what, a 10-year time span now, a 4-year, 8-year time span. And of course, we can utilize that technology for students to obtain information, right? Just a little bit about why should we even use technology. If you look at digital learners, the students today, they prefer just in time. They want to have fun with it. They like the pictures and the sound and the color. For example, if you give a young Latino, like say for example, you want to do a workshop or whatever it may be, a lecture on, let's say, College 101, or for example, in university, you want the incoming Latino students to know about the university and how they can graduate in 4 years. If you give them a book or booklet for the 4 years, they're gonna probably look at it, not even read it, and probably just shove it away somewhere and they'll forget about it. Or they'll throw it away. They don't even care for it. But if you do videos, right? If you record the workshop, if you do a workshop for it, or you record a video, whatever it may be, using technology, you probably have a highly successful, your success rate goes probably higher by actually visually showing the book, right? So how do you do that? Well, you do the workshop and you talk about you cut down the book into in an hour or so, or even less, and you give the main points, right? So your first year you have to do this, your second year you have to do that, your third year you have to do this, your fourth year you have to do this in order to graduate from our institution, and you're doing a really quick workshop, an hour or less. You record it, you put it on technology. Then probably a young Latino will more likely see that than read the book. Because let's face it. I mean, we today, like, let's just if you need information, do you want to read a whole book? You're like, nah, not really. I just want to see if it's on YouTube. How to do this, and you find it. So you really need to use technology today to get the attention of the new student, the 21st century student, right? Why do I say this? Why do we need technology? Well, technology can possibly increase the number of Hispanic students obtaining their degrees, right? We're doing a good job now of making sure they get in the door, whether it's a community college or a four-year institution, but we need to increase the number that walking out with a degree in hand, right? That's where we need to increase number. And using technology and recording special workshops or lectures to help young Latinos know about college or the important resources out there for them can possibly, hopefully, increase the number of Latinos graduating from college. Um, I can't tell you that's one of the reasons why I started the Oye Help Me series was because instead of writing books about instead of writing books or something or booklets about how to graduate from college in specific topics, I just record the video so that hey, listen, this is how you write a scholarship. This is how you ask for a letter of recommendation, or this is how you do such and such. I record it and I post it up so Latinos don't have to read anything; they just see it, right? And they learn from that. So we need to increase the degree completion. Um, and some people, well, I don't know if Jorge or Cesar or Cecilia have a computer now. Well, studies have shown, especially the, you see Pew Research Center, they do have own a desktop or a laptop, and if they don't, they have a smartphone, right? They have capability to the internet, right? I mean, today in college campuses, I mean, you have computer labs there. They can use the computer labs. They can go to their public library. They can rent one from the university. So there's no excuses as to why Hispanics are not able to use laptop computers or desktops, right? There's no excuses now. They have the capability and the access to it, right? So as I mentioned, Oye Help Me series was started because of my frustration or my need to help out young Latinos know the resources and out there for them in order for them to graduate from college, right? Like I said, it was one thing getting them in the door, but one thing getting them out the door. And they just needed several resources, right? They needed just a couple things to know about how do I get out of college with a degree. So, after, I just to cut it short, I had my three little brothers, who I met one through Big Brothers Big Sisters, one in another mentorship program, and actually one of them is like my actual cousin. They kept asking me questions about, hey, how do I get this done? What about college? What about this? What about that? So I said I put up some videos, and when I do workshops, also I post those videos up so students can see them, and it's not just my inner circle, but students across the nation can see these videos that they can help graduate, right? And I use technology to do so and put them out there, right? Because if I write a book or something, maybe not that someone will read it, but if you put a video out there, they'll be like, okay, I got to see this, right? But you have to know why. If you're going to use technology, if you're going to record videos, if you're going to record your lectures or workshops, you have to know what market you're targeting, right? If you're going to target the 21st century Latino, young Latino, millennial student, that's great, but the technology is all the way to go because they're going to use it. But say you're specifically targeting uh, the parents, right, or maybe grandparents or whatever. Uh, Maybe technology can be the way, but don't highly focus on it. I don't want. I have two videos in Spanish for parents. Um, they can be shown too, but if you were specifically targeting parents, maybe a video may or may not work for this technology may or may not work. But if you're specifically targeting the new millennial Latino students, or students between the ages of 30 and 40, possibly technology is the way to go. But you have to know who you're targeting. Do the research on the specific target market that you're going for, and what message do you want to give, right? When you do the workshop or the lecture, or whatever it may be that you're going to use technology for, make sure you have a message to give, right? In this video, the message that I'm giving is you need to use this 21st century technology for these students when you do workshops and lectures because they need to see it, right? Because let's face it, if you're doing a workshop, how many Latinos go to the workshops? If you tell them, right, only 5 show up, 10 maybe, 15 if you're lucky. But if you record it, be like, hey, you missed a workshop. Hey, look, check it out. You can watch it on YouTube now because I record it and you can watch it, right? And also, if you're gonna do such workshops for something for your department or your office, make sure find out if your institution will allow it or let you do it. And if you're gonna do if you're gonna record the workshop, heck, even the university will most likely somebody from department there, a technology department, will probably go out there and record it for you and do the whole thing for you, right? But you have to see what are the restrictions for it, because if you're using, the university and such, is, make sure to see what your institution will allow, because now with if you see now universities are even having social media policies, right? If you look at universities, some of them have social media policies. Heck, some universities even hire people to take care of the social media. So you have to see if you're going to use technology to record and to put it out there, see what the policies are, what's allowed, and maybe you can even get the university's help to do it for you instead of you doing it by yourself, right? In this one, I show the college admission of one of the Oye Help Me videos, and also real show scholarships, right? Scholarship writing. So let's talk about scholarships, how to find them. You can watch these on, of course, you can watch it on the Oye Help Me website at www.oyehelpme.net. So it's OYE helpme.net. Some of the topics that you may want to talk about and that's talked about is what to major in, right? College life, the diversity. So these are some of the topics that young Latinos want to know about. If you're gonna do, if you're targeting young Latinos and you want to reach them out to them, and of course you can reach them out to in person. If you're gonna do videos, use technology. These are three important topics that you want to highlight, right? What is college life like, right? What is there diversity institution? What should I do to major? How do I choose a major, or have some people in specific majors talk about them, right? Oh yeah, help me! I did that. I talked about some of these topics on the videos, right? In the workshops, if you can do a workshop, right, you can use resources, make them really simple to use. Resources like this one, for example, is a scholarship paper guideline. The video I did was how to write a scholarship. I use this guideline. I give this guideline as a resource for young Latinos to write scholarships. Right, keep it short and make sure the topic is of value. Right, I mean, knowing how to write a scholarship paper is a really important, a valuable topic, a valuable workshop for students, because many students don't know how to write scholarship papers or don't know how to start. So that's one important way to do so. Like I said, smartphone usage, Latinos have it, Hispanics do it amongst adults, and it's probably still even higher among young Latinos, right? And of course, they have access to the internet. Internet and ownership, as you can see, Hispanics over 70% have it, and they own also cell phones, right? And of course, I show this other video on social media, of course, because of YouTube and copyright and such. I showed it in the workshop because it's for educational purpose. Because of here, this recording it, I can send you the link to the YouTube video if you email me. Right. Some of the tools being used. If you're gonna use technology, right, for your workshops, to put it out there, some of the important tools to use is Facebook and Twitter first, to put the message out there, and Google Plus also. Google Plus, you can, if you want to interview someone for your workshop, you can use Google Plus and have it recorded on Google Plus. Hangout on air, you can record that. YouTube is possibly or one of the most important tools to have. If you want the world to see your workshops, your videos, your students to see them, create a YouTube account for those videos. Or if you're going to post it on your university website, you can post it up there too. But YouTube is an important tool to have. And of course, how will you make an impact, right? How will you make an impact in the community? How are you going to use technology to make an impact in your community and your university, right? How are you going to make that impact? If you want more information, some series examples of how I use technology for you to help me, you can visit the website, you can email me. One important tool that I use for recording lectures, and I'm using this technology right now to record this this workshop presentation, was I use Snagit. Snagit is basically a software where it captures the screen or the computer to make the video, right? So Snagit is one important tool. So if you're going to do it, if you're going to do a presentation and you're doing it online, Snagit is one important tool to have. You can use it. The great thing about Snagit is you can either buy the software for a PC or for a Mac, or you don't have to buy it. Sometimes check your institution because your university may already have the software already on certain computers on your campus. You can just use those. You don't have to purchase it. So just technology today is very important. It's one of those things that we can't escape. Use technology to the most of your capability to put those workshops out there, put those lectures up, put those presentations out there to the world to see, especially to your surroundings, to your community, and to your university, so young Latinos know what's out there for them, right? So, thank you for this thing, and this is some of the resources that I used. Feel free to email me if you have any questions. I'm more than willing to help you or your university. If you want me to come out to university, I'm more than willing to do so at a conference or a workshop, whatever it may be. More willing to talk about 21st century technology and how you can use it in the classroom and university or for a program or for an organization or company, whatever it may be. More than willing to help out.